Introduction to speed reading. Speed reading is a collection of techniques aimed at increasing the rate at which an individual can read while retaining comprehension. It is not about skipping words or superficial understanding, but rather about optimizing eye movements and cognitive processing. Many people read at a pace far below their potential, often due to ingrained habits developed during early education. This course will introduce you to methods that challenge these habits and unlock a more efficient reading style. By mastering these techniques, you can process vast amounts of information in less time, a crucial skill in today's information-rich world. It involves training your brain and eyes to work together more effectively, moving beyond word-by-word reading. This foundational understanding sets the stage for the practical skills you will acquire. The primary goal of speed reading is to enhance both reading speed and comprehension simultaneously. While it might seem counterintuitive that reading faster could lead to better understanding, many traditional reading habits actually hinder comprehension. For instance, subvocalization, or reading words aloud in your head, significantly slows down your reading pace to speaking speed. Speed reading aims to minimize such inefficiencies, allowing your brain to absorb information more directly. It involves a shift in how you interact with text, moving from a linear, word-focused approach to a more holistic, concept-driven one. This new approach can lead to improved focus and better retention of key ideas. Benefits of speed reading. The advantages of mastering speed reading extend far beyond simply finishing books faster. One significant benefit is enhanced productivity, as you can process reports, emails, and articles in a fraction of the time. This frees up valuable time for other tasks, leading to greater efficiency in both professional and academic settings. Furthermore, speed reading often improves overall comprehension and retention, as it encourages active engagement with the text rather than passive consumption. By focusing on key ideas and patterns, your brain becomes more adept at organizing and storing information. This skill is particularly valuable for students preparing for exams or professionals needing to stay current with industry trends. It transforms reading from a chore into a powerful tool for continuous learning and growth. Beyond productivity, speed reading cultivates stronger critical thinking skills. When you read faster, your brain is compelled to identify main arguments and supporting details more quickly, filtering out less important information. This constant practice in discernment sharpens your analytical abilities, allowing you to evaluate content more effectively. It also reduces mental fatigue, as efficient reading requires less effort than struggling through text word by word. This means you can read for longer periods without feeling overwhelmed. Ultimately, speed reading empowers you to consume more knowledge, make more informed decisions, and gain a competitive edge in any field requiring extensive reading. Myths versus realities of speed reading. One common myth about speed reading is that it sacrifices comprehension for speed. Many believe that reading faster inevitably means understanding less, but this is largely untrue. Effective speed reading techniques train you to identify key information and main ideas more efficiently, often leading to better retention. Another myth is that speed reading is only for light, easy material. While it's true that highly technical or complex texts may require a slower pace for deep analysis, speed reading principles can still be applied to improve initial understanding and navigation. The reality is that speed reading is a flexible skill, adaptable to various types of content and reading goals. It's about smart reading, not just fast reading. Another prevalent myth suggests that speed reading is a magical trick that can be learned overnight. In reality, it requires consistent practice and dedication, just like any other skill. It involves retraining your eyes and brain, which takes time and effort to solidify new habits. Some also believe that speed reading means never rereading a sentence or paragraph. While regression is minimized, strategic rereading for clarification or deeper understanding is still a valid technique when necessary. The truth is that speed reading is a powerful tool that, when properly learned and applied, can significantly enhance your reading capabilities without diminishing comprehension. It's a skill that evolves with practice and conscious application. Understanding traditional reading habits. Before we can improve our reading, it's essential to understand the habits we've developed over years. Most people read word by word, a habit often reinforced during elementary school when learning to read aloud. This linear approach limits speed because our eyes and brain are capable of processing more than one word at a time. Another common habit is subvocalization, the inner voice that reads each word to you. While helpful for comprehension in early stages, it caps your reading speed at your speaking speed, which is significantly slower than your brain's processing capacity. These habits, though natural, become barriers to efficient reading as we mature and encounter more complex texts. Recognizing them is the first step towards breaking free and adopting more effective strategies. Regression, or rereading words and sentences, is another pervasive habit that slows down reading. Often, this happens unconsciously when our eyes jump back to reread something we just passed, either due to a momentary lapse in concentration or a perceived lack of understanding. While sometimes necessary for complex material, excessive regression is a major time sink. Similarly, fixations, the pauses your eyes make on individual words or small groups of words, are often too long and too frequent. Our eyes don't smoothly glide across a line of text. They jump in saccades, pausing briefly at fixation points. Reducing the number and duration of these fixations is key to increasing reading speed. Understanding these ingrained patterns is crucial for targeted improvement. Subvocalization, the inner voice. Subvocalization is the habit of silently pronouncing words as you read. This inner voice is a remnant from when we learned to read aloud and is a major bottleneck for reading speed. While it aids comprehension for beginners, for proficient readers, it limits your reading speed to your speaking speed, which is typically around 150 to 250 words per minute. Your brain, however, can process information much faster than you can speak. Overcoming subvocalization is crucial for unlocking your full reading potential. It doesn't mean you stop understanding the words. Rather, you learn to recognize them visually and grasp their meaning directly without the intermediate step of hearing them. There are several techniques to reduce subvocalization. One effective method is to engage your mouth or tongue in a distracting activity, such as humming, chewing gum, or counting aloud while reading. This occupies the vocal apparatus, making it harder for the inner voice to form. Another approach is to consciously focus on reading groups of words rather than individual ones, forcing your brain to process information in chunks. Additionally, using a pacer, like your finger or a pen, can help maintain a faster pace, naturally pushing you beyond your subvocalization limit. Consistent practice with these methods will gradually diminish the habit, allowing for a significant increase in reading speed. Fixations, eye movements. Fixations are the brief pauses your eyes make as they move across a line of text. Our eyes do not glide smoothly. Instead, they jump in rapid movements called saccades, landing on specific points where they fixate to absorb information. Traditional readers often have long and frequent fixations, focusing on one or two words at a time. This inefficiency significantly slows down reading speed. The goal in speed reading is to reduce the number of fixations per line and shorten their duration, allowing your eyes to cover more ground with fewer stops. By training your eyes to take in larger chunks of text with each fixation, you can dramatically increase your reading pace. To improve eye fixations, practice expanding your peripheral vision while reading. Instead of focusing solely on the word directly in front of your eye, try to consciously take in the words to its left and right simultaneously. This allows you to process multiple words in a single fixation. Using a visual pacer, like your finger or a pen, can also guide your eyes more efficiently across the line, preventing unnecessary refixations or regressions. Techniques like the Schultz table exercises, which involve rapidly identifying numbers in a grid, can also train your eyes to expand their span of recognition and reduce fixation time. Consistent practice is key to developing these new eye movement patterns. Regression. Rereading regression is the habit of rereading words or sentences that you have already parsed. This often happens unconsciously, where your eyes jump back to a previous point in the text, either because you feel you didn't fully grasp the meaning or due to a momentary lapse in concentration. While sometimes necessary for highly complex material, excessive regression is a significant impediment to reading speed. It breaks the flow of reading, forcing your brain to reprocess information it has already encountered, thereby wasting valuable time and mental energy. Identifying and minimizing this habit is crucial for improving reading efficiency. To combat regression, several techniques can be employed. One effective method is using a visual pacer, such as your finger or a pen, to guide your eyes forward consistently. This physical guide helps to prevent your eyes from jumping backward. Another strategy is to maintain a high level of concentration and trust your initial comprehension. Often, regressions occur due to a lack of confidence in understanding, even when the meaning has been grasped. Practicing reading with a timer can also help, as the pressure to maintain a steady pace discourages backward movements. Over time, conscious effort and consistent practice will train your eyes to move forward smoothly and reduce the urge to regress. Peripheral vision expansion. Expanding your peripheral vision is a cornerstone of effective speed reading. Traditional readers tend to focus narrowly on one or two words at the center of their gaze, neglecting the words on the periphery. However, our peripheral vision is capable of processing information, even if less sharply than our central vision. By training your eyes to take in a wider span of words with each fixation, you can significantly reduce the number of stops your eyes make per line. This means you're not just reading one word at a time, but rather groups of words, or chunks, which dramatically increases your reading speed. It's about making your eyes more efficient information gatherers. To practice peripheral vision expansion, start by focusing on the center of a line of text, but consciously try to perceive the words to the left and right without moving your central gaze. You can use a card or your hands to cover the first and last few words of a line, forcing your eyes to start and end their fixations further inward, thus utilizing your peripheral vision more effectively. Drills like the Schultz table are also excellent for this, as they train your eyes to quickly identify targets in a wider field. Consistent practice with these exercises will gradually widen your reading span, allowing you to absorb more information with fewer eye movements and less effort. This is a fundamental shift in how your eyes interact with the page. Pacing techniques. Finger and pen pacing techniques involve using a visual guide to direct your eyes across the page, helping to maintain a steady, faster reading speed and prevent regressions. The most common pacers are your finger or a pen. By moving your chosen pacer smoothly and consistently beneath each line of text, you train your eyes to follow a predetermined path, reducing the tendency to reread or get lost. This simple yet powerful technique provides a physical anchor for your eyes, encouraging them to move forward without unnecessary pauses. It also helps to break the habit of subvocalization by forcing a faster pace than your inner voice can comfortably maintain. When using a finger or pen as a pacer, aim for a smooth, continuous motion across the line, slightly faster than your comfortable reading speed. Gradually increase this speed as you become more accustomed to the technique. You can also experiment with different patterns, such as tracing a Z shape down the page for wider lines, or a simple straight line. The key is consistency and gentle pressure to guide your eyes. Don't press too hard or try to read every single word. The pacer acts as a visual metronome, setting the rhythm for your reading and helping your eyes to expand their span of recognition. Regular practice with a pacer will significantly improve your reading flow and speed. Metronome and rhythm reading. Incorporating a metronome into your speed reading practice can be a powerful way to establish and maintain a consistent rhythm. Just as a musician uses a metronome to keep time, you can use one to set a steady pace for your eye movements across the page. This technique helps to break the habit of pausing too long on words and encourages a continuous forward motion. by synchronizing your eye movements with the metronome's beat. You train your brain to process information at a faster, more predictable rate. It's a disciplined approach that builds momentum and reduces erratic eye movements, leading to smoother and more efficient reading. To practice with a metronome, set it to a comfortable but slightly challenging beat. With each click, aim to move your eyes to the next chunk of words or the next line. Gradually increase the beats per minute, BPM, as your comfort and speed improve. You can combine this with pacing techniques, moving your finger or pen in sync with the metronome. The rhythmic sound helps to override subvocalization and keeps your focus sharp. Start with shorter practice sessions and build up duration. The goal is not just to read faster, but to develop a consistent, rhythmic flow that becomes second nature, allowing your brain to anticipate and process information more effectively. Chunking. Reading groups of words. Chunking is a fundamental speed reading technique that involves reading groups of words together, rather than individual words. Instead of fixating on each word, your eyes learn to take in 2 to 4 words or even more in a single fixation. This significantly reduces the number of eye movements required per line, thereby increasing your reading speed. Our brains are naturally adept at recognizing patterns and processing information in larger units, and chunking leverages this cognitive ability. By moving beyond word-by-word reading, you allow your brain to grasp concepts and phrases more holistically, improving both speed and comprehension. It's about seeing the forest, not just the trees. To practice chunking, start by consciously trying to focus on the center of a small group of words, for example, 2 to 3 words, and try to perceive them as a single unit. Gradually increase the size of these chunks as you become more comfortable. Using a visual pacer can help guide your eyes to jump from one chunk to the next. You can also use a card to cover parts of the line, exposing only a chunk at a time, forcing your eyes to adapt. Exercises that involve reading columns of words or short phrases can also train your brain to recognize patterns quickly. Consistent effort in chunking will retrain your eyes and brain to process information more efficiently, leading to substantial gains in reading speed. Skimming. Overview reading. Skimming is a speed reading technique used to quickly get the gist or main idea of a text without reading every word. It involves rapidly moving your eyes over the text, looking for keywords, headings, subheadings, bolded text, and the first and last sentences of paragraphs. This method is particularly useful when you need to determine if a document is relevant to your needs, or when you want to get a general understanding before a more detailed read. Skimming is not about deep comprehension, but rather about efficient information triage, allowing you to quickly assess the content's value and main points. It's a strategic approach to managing information overload. To effectively skim, start by reading the title, introduction, and conclusion carefully. Then, quickly scan through the body paragraphs, paying attention to the first sentence, topic sentence of each paragraph, as well as any bolded or italicized words. Look for proper nouns, dates, and any repeated terms that might indicate key themes. Your eyes should move in a Z or S pattern down the page, or a serpentine motion, rather than strictly left to right. Don't stop to read entire sentences. Instead, let your eyes float over the text, picking out salient points. Practice is essential to develop the skill of quickly identifying crucial information, while ignoring less important details. Scanning, finding specific information. Scanning is a speed reading technique used to locate specific pieces of information within a text, such as names, dates, facts, or keywords. Unlike skimming, where you're looking for general understanding, scanning involves quickly sweeping your eyes over the text to find a particular item. It's like looking up a word in a dictionary or finding a specific number in a phone book. You don't read for comprehension, you read for recognition of a target. This technique is invaluable when you know exactly what you're looking for and need to retrieve it quickly from a larger body of text, saving significant time and effort. To effectively scan, first identify the specific keyword or phrase you are searching for. Then, move your eyes rapidly down the page, often in a vertical motion or a wide S pattern, looking only for that target. Your eyes should not stop to read other words. Instead, they should be trained to recognize the visual pattern of your target word or phrase. It helps to have a clear mental image of what you're seeking. Once you spot the target, you can then slow down and read the surrounding text for context. Practice with various types of documents, such as articles, reports, or lists, to hone your ability to quickly pinpoint specific information. This focused search strategy is a powerful tool for information retrieval. Previewing. Preparing to read. Previewing is a crucial pre-reading strategy that involves getting a quick overview of a text before diving into a detailed read. It's like looking at a map before embarking on a journey. It gives you a sense of the terrain and helps you anticipate what's ahead. When you preview, you examine elements such as the title, headings, subheadings, introduction, conclusion, summaries, bolded text, and any visual aids like charts or graphs. This initial survey activates your prior knowledge, helps you identify the main topics, and sets a purpose for your reading. It significantly improves comprehension by providing a mental framework into which new information can be integrated, making the actual reading process more efficient and meaningful. To effectively preview, spend a few minutes, e.g. 2 to 5 minutes for an article, rapidly scanning the entire document. Pay particular attention to the first and last paragraphs, as they often contain the main arguments and conclusions. Look for any questions or objectives presented at the beginning or end of chapters. Notice how the text is organized and structured. This quick overview allows your brain to create a mental outline, making it easier to follow the author's logic and identify key information during your actual read. Previewing helps you decide what to focus on and what to skim, tailoring your reading strategy to the specific text and your goals. Active reading strategies. Active reading is about engaging with the text in a dynamic way, rather than passively absorbing information. It involves asking questions, making connections, and critically evaluating the content as you read. This proactive approach significantly enhances comprehension and retention, even at higher speeds. Instead of just letting words wash over you, active readers interact with the material, seeking to understand its deeper meaning and implications. This engagement transforms reading from a receptive activity into an investigative one, where you are constantly seeking to extract value and build knowledge. It's a shift from being a spectator to being a participant in the learning process. Key active reading strategies include annotating the text by highlighting, underlining, or writing notes in the margins. Summarizing sections in your own words, either mentally or in writing, forces you to synthesize information and identify main ideas. Asking who, what, when, where, why, and how questions as you read helps to clarify understanding and identify gaps in knowledge. Connecting new information to what you already know or to other parts of the text builds a stronger mental network. Finally, pausing periodically to reflect on what you've read helps consolidate learning. These strategies, when combined with speed reading techniques, lead to a more profound and efficient learning experience. Mind mapping for retention. Mind mapping is a powerful visual tool that significantly enhances comprehension and retention, especially when combined with speed reading. After a rapid read, creating a mind map allows you to organize information non-linearly, reflecting how your brain naturally processes and stores data. Instead of traditional notes, a mind map uses a central topic with branches extending outwards for main ideas and sub-branches for supporting details. This visual structure helps you see the relationships between concepts, identify key themes, and recall information more easily. It transforms fragmented data into a cohesive, memorable overview, making it an excellent post-reading strategy. To create an effective mind map, start with the main topic or central idea in the middle of a blank page. From this central idea, draw thick branches for the main sections or chapters of the text. On these main branches, add thinner sub-branches for key concepts and supporting details, using keywords, short phrases, and images instead of full sentences. Use different colors, symbols, and varying line thicknesses to emphasize connections and hierarchies. The act of creating the mind map itself reinforces learning, as you are actively synthesizing and structuring the information. Regularly reviewing your mind maps will further solidify your understanding and recall of the material, making your speed reading efforts more fruitful. Improving comprehension at speed. A common concern with speed reading is the fear of sacrificing comprehension. However, true speed reading aims to improve both speed and understanding simultaneously. The key lies in training your brain to process information more efficiently and to focus on the most important details. By eliminating inefficient habits like subvocalization and regression, your cognitive resources are freed up to concentrate on meaning. Furthermore, techniques like chunking and expanding peripheral vision allow your brain to grasp larger units of meaning at once, which can actually enhance contextual understanding. It's about optimizing your brain's natural ability to synthesize information quickly. To actively improve comprehension while reading at speed, integrate active reading strategies. Preview the text to build a mental framework, which helps your brain anticipate and categorize information. Engage in active questioning as you read, constantly seeking answers and connections. After a speed read, take a moment to summarize the main points in your own words or create a mind map. This post-reading reflection solidifies understanding and highlights any areas that need further review. Remember that comprehension is not about reading every single word, but about grasping the core message and its implications. Consistent practice with these integrated techniques will lead to significant improvements in both speed and retention. Vocabulary building for speed. A strong vocabulary is indispensable for effective speed reading. When you encounter unfamiliar words, your reading speed inevitably slows down as you pause to decipher their meaning, or worse, you skip them and lose comprehension. A rich vocabulary allows your brain to recognize words instantly, without hesitation, maintaining a smooth and rapid reading flow. It also enhances your ability to understand complex ideas and nuances within the text, as you have a broader range of concepts at your disposal. Investing time in vocabulary building is not just about knowing more words, it's about making your reading process more efficient and your comprehension deeper. To actively build your vocabulary for speed reading, adopt consistent habits. Keep a vocabulary journal where you note down new words, their definitions, and example sentences. Utilize flashcards or digital apps for spaced repetition, which is highly effective for long-term retention. When reading, try to infer the meaning of unfamiliar words from context before looking them up. Pay attention to prefixes, suffixes, and root words, as these can provide clues to meaning. Regularly expose yourself to diverse and challenging texts, as this is the most natural way to encounter and learn new words. The more words you recognize instantly, the faster and more fluently you will read. Focus and concentration techniques. Maintaining unwavering focus and concentration is paramount for effective speed reading. Distractions, both internal and external, can severely impede your reading speed and comprehension, forcing you to reread or lose your place. Speed reading demands a high level of mental engagement, as you are actively processing information at an accelerated pace. Without strong concentration, the benefits of speed reading techniques will be diminished. Developing techniques to sharpen your focus will not only improve your reading, but also enhance your overall cognitive performance in various tasks, making it a valuable skill beyond just reading. To cultivate better focus, start by creating an optimal reading environment. Minimize external distractions by finding a quiet space, turning off notifications, and informing others not to disturb you. Internally, practice mindfulness exercises before reading to calm your mind and bring your attention to the present moment. Set clear intentions for each reading session, knowing what you aim to achieve. Use a timer for focus sprints, reading intensely for a set period, e.g., 25 minutes, followed by a short break. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the text without judgment. Consistent practice of these techniques will strengthen your mental discipline and allow for sustained, high-speed reading. Managing distractions. Distractions are the arch-nemesis of speed reading, capable of derailing your progress and diminishing comprehension. They can be external, such as phone notifications, noisy environments, or interruptions from others, or internal, like wandering thoughts, worries, or mental fatigue. Recognizing the types of distractions that affect you most is the first step towards managing them effectively. Each interruption forces your brain to switch tasks, costing valuable time and mental energy to regain focus. Minimizing these disruptions is crucial for maintaining the high level of concentration required for efficient, accelerated reading. To effectively manage distractions, implement a multi-pronged approach. For external distractions, create a dedicated, quiet reading space. Turn off all non-essential notifications on your devices and use noise-canceling headphones if necessary. Communicate your reading time to others to avoid interruptions. For internal distractions, practice mindfulness and meditation to improve your ability to control your thoughts. If your mind wanders, gently acknowledge the thought and redirect your attention back to the text. Ensure you are well rested and hydrated to combat mental fatigue. Regular breaks during long reading sessions can also help maintain focus. By proactively addressing both external and internal distractions, you create an optimal environment for speed reading success.